Hello, this is Dory with Prairie Scraps, and today for Make It Monday, I am going to be using some Dollar Tree forms. These are just plain wood, very thin wood cutouts that they had at Dollar Tree. And so this is a snowflake. As you can see, went ahead and painted it. And so I was going to make some signs with it and kind of come up with a little project with them. I was pretty excited to see them in the Dollar Tree. This one's a ornament. You can see this is what the color looks like before. It's an unfinished wood, and the nice thing about it is there are no tags whatsoever on them, so they're made for craft projects. Our Dollar Tree finally got all the crafting stuff, so I was pretty excited about that. So anyway, I'm gonna make some signs for our craft fair, and I'm going to show you how to do them today pretty inexpensively, I think. So the things that you'll need for these today are your different cutouts. There was also a tree cutout, but it was very narrow, so I wanted something with a wider area on the front so I could put some lettering on it. And then there was also, so there's three different ones. There was the tree, there was this ornament, and then the snowflake. So I chose one of each of the snowflake and the ornament, and then left the tree there because I didn't think it wasn't going to work for making signs. So the first thing I did was I went ahead and painted. You don't have to sit and watch me. I just painted. I used the Waverly chalk paint, and the color I used on the red it's called Liqueur. And so I think it's a really beautiful red that I made. I used that Waverly chalk paint. I think it was like $1.30 for the small can at Walmart. And then I also got the Waverly chalk paint with the matte finish in agave, which I'm pretty excited about. And painted each of them that. And then once that was all dry and done, I did a little bit of sanding on with a 220 grit on the paint just to give it a little bit smoother paint. One of them had gotten a little piece of hair in it, so I sanded that out. So that's what I use the sandpaper for. Some other things that you'll need are any sort of decorations. I made up some little bows. I'm getting in the mood for bows because we're getting ready to make our live wreaths for our 4-H. So here's one of the bows, the one I'm going to put on. It's got some burlap. This is actually from the Dollar Tree. That's a buffalo check with snowflakes on it. It is not wired, so it doesn't lay really perfectly, but I think it's kind of cute because I put it on the front of a burlap. The burlap ribbon that I used on the back of here is wired, and I got that at Costco in the great big huge roll for 10 bucks. And then also another one of my favorite ribbons to use for making bows, and I'll be froofing these up when I get closer to putting the bows on. But anyway, I made up a bigger bow. This one might actually be too big, so I'll maybe save these for our wreaths when we make our 4-H wreaths, and then downsize a little bit. I don't know what I was thinking, or maybe I'll use it. And then I tied a Dollar Tree. This come in 6 packs, these little Dollar Tree white ornaments that they have at the Dollar Tree. So you can see how big that is. I love these things. I put them on all my gnomes, so check out the gnome video if you want to see more of those. They come in 6 pack for $1. And then this white snowflake bow material also came from Costco. I just have found that if you actually divide it out, there's only 3 yards on the Dollar Tree, and their ribbons aren't as nice, and I can't get as much out, whereas I think it's, what is it? Actually, I have one here, 50 yards for $10. So the difference is huge. It's actually cheaper to buy those great big rolls of ribbon if you're making projects. So that's where I get my ribbons for decorating today. Once I got this painted, I went ahead and used some Johnson paste wax. I got this at my local hardware store. I've used this on dressers, all kinds of things, and I've still got plenty more. And the reason you want to do that on here, I've already done the red one. It does make it a little bit darker. And the reason we want to do that is I'm going to be using a screen print called Chalk Couture on these, and you want it to release. You don't want it to stick to the chalk paint or pull the chalk paint off. So I'm just putting a clear coat of wax on here so that it does, that my, sorry for the wiggling, so that my transfer will come off. I don't want it to stick and break the screen print, so as I'm pulling it off. So anyway, I'm just going ahead and putting it all over, and then I use kind of a side that I don't have any wax on it to rub it in, and then as it dries, that's all I do to get it waxed. Nothing super fancy or anything. So that is the Johnson's paste wax. It smells really bad. I guess there is some wax that you can use that maybe is not so smelly, but this is pretty smelly. Although I'm in my living room, so, you know, whatever, we're getting used to it. So, the one that I'm going to do on these are the Chalk Couture transfers, and as you can see, this one is called "Oh Come Let Us Adore Him" is what it says, and I've used this quite a bit. It doesn't have to be fuzzed off or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and apply it right onto my red ornament where I want to have it print. And I'm actually doing both of these in white chalk, and I'm going to try to get this as far down to the bottom as I can so that bow that I put at the top can go on the top of the ornament as well. So we're just going to make sure that this is nice and firm. I guess that's a bouncy surface. You can take one of the little scrapers and kind of smooth out any bubbles. You don't want any bubbles in it, or the chalk paint goes underneath it. And that's what I'm going to do right here. And like I said, I'm going to do both of them all in white because I think the contrast between the white and the red and the white and the blue is going to be really nice. Voila! And I accidentally stuck it down to my table. Okay, so I think it's ready. Go ahead and do the chalk paint. So that is what I'm going to do. As you can see on the back of it, I wrote what it is so that I could tell the difference, but so when I put it back on, it will go on there. I'm trying to see what else. Oh, I've got some extra pieces here. There are some little stars. I might wait a few minutes and see if I want to add those stars to this. I had one more star sitting here and I don't know where it went. Okay, so this is the chalk paint. Mine got a little bit dry. I like to use spoons. You can use the little spatulas you can get from Chalk Couture. But this is the chalk paste. It is fully washable. So if you make a mistake or it smears or whatever, you can usually get it off your surface. That's why we put the wax sealer on it. So anyway, mine's a little soupy right now, I think. You want it to be about the consistency of yogurt when you put it on. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of it and put it on here. Yep, mine's pretty runny. What happened was I didn't do Chalk Couture for quite some time. And so when I opened them up, they had dried on top. The great thing about them being water-based is you can just add a little bit of water and it will rejuvenate it and keep it going. So, yep, this is a little soupy. I wouldn't go this soupy. I maybe added a little bit too much water today just because I wanted to make sure it was going really well. So, and I'm a little rusty. I haven't been doing this for a while. So bear with me. So that, I guess that will show, if it turns out, that will show you how easy this is to do, because I haven't done it, well, probably since last crafting season very much. I did a little bit in the summer. I did some pinwheels, but nothing mass producing. But I'm back into the crafting. So I'm just going to put that little scraper down, and then you want to work pretty quickly and get the screen print off, and you want to pull from the center. You don't want to pull like from a corner because you don't want it to, oops, I got a little smudging, but I think that's going to be okay. All right, I'm going to hand that off, and we definitely need something on there so you can see how that turned out. Sorry. Well, come let us adore him. And I've got a little section here. I smudged it a little there. I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to get that off. Easy peasy with a little rag. And then I'm going to put on, I think, maybe this one. Then I can put that bow on there. Put that bow right off to the side. I think that's what I'll do. I'm just going to put one on. There's 3 different stars that come with this. You don't have to necessarily use them. But I'm going to try to do this without taking off my cum off of there. All right, so we're going to flatten that out really nice. And I'm not flattening very much that one side because I don't want to bring off the C. I haven't really let it dry. I guess I could have brought in a heat tool or something, but I was thinking, oh, it's all white. I don't need to worry about it. And then you want to make sure you get all the other areas. There's some little polka dots on this one. And super simple. And here we go. Nice, I like it. So there you go. Now, before I actually glue, so what you'll see is this is how it'll turn out, and I'll probably put this off to the side, just like that, for my ornament and for my little wall hanging. And that's probably all I will do. I made my bow. Oh, I didn't tell you. I made my bows using Dollar Tree. What are those called? All right, maybe comment below or I'll think of them. Pipe cleaners, that's what it is. So Dollar Tree white pipe cleaners to attach it, so I have something. If I don't decide to tie it on there, I can actually go ahead and hot glue it. So I did have my hot glue gun out here, so if I wanted to go back later and put that on, I can. So that one is finished. The only thing I need to do then is I will put a clear coat on it so you can hang it on your door. I use like the polyurethane like clear spray from the hardware store. Just a spray can to do that. And okay, so the next one I'm going to use, these are all transfers for last year, so I apologize for that, but there's plenty of different options if you were ordering. I don't even represent them anymore, but let me know if you're interested. I can get you more information on that. Oh, there is my other star. I found it in the wrong bag. Okay, so this one says let it snow, and I love this one. I love snowflakes and I love snowmen. This one has also been fuzzed off if you've ever watched any, so I don't need any videos on Chalk Couture. I don't need to do that. I'm sort of hard to tell where the middle. I'm really bad with that. Ooh, so what I did was I held it up to the light and you can see through where it's placed and see if that's where you like it or not. So that's what I'm gonna do. That worked out. That was a total mistake. That makes it off. Sorry, this is, I think, the worst part is figuring out where to put it to make sure that it's centered and not off. Okay. And then my finger's stuck. Kind of shifted it. So as you can see, I'm just looking through it to make sure I have it on evenly. I'm going to go a little bit higher. You can kind of see the outline both through it. I'm seeing it pretty good, so I apologize if you can't. But I think that's pretty good. That is the one thing that I worry the most about when I do these, is getting it centered and having it look nice. It just bothers my OCD eye if it's not centered really nice. So again, I'm running in onto the table and it's sticking really good to that. You can kind of hear the crunching as I'm doing this. That's little air bubbles coming out. So you want to get all those air bubbles out really well. Otherwise, it kind of leaks underneath. The good news is because it is water-based, like once you pull off the transfer, all you have to do is take a little Q-tip with a little water on it and you can kind of get the edges fixed that way. So it is a wonderful product that way. Okay. Ooh, I guess you can see the bottom of it. The computer, sorry. All right. I'm just going to take up a little of this and I'm just going to start going across. I think everybody does it a little bit different. I don't know. I always kind of go top to bottom so then I don't smudge over on myself. And again, I'm only using the white. This makes it really super simple. When you think about it, it probably cost me less than $1 to make the bow. I can always add little ornaments onto it or a little greenery if I wanted to make it a little more dressed up. And then these transfers are reusable over and over and over again. So I've already made like probably, with this Let It Snow, probably 6 signs with it. And, you know, so I'm getting my money's worth, and very little chalk paint comes with this. All right, so one last swipe over here to make sure I got everything. Get it all off, get as much off. And the other great thing is any excess, you can just go ahead and put it right back into the container, and it all washes off with water. So there it is. And I'll try to pull this. Okay, pull this that way. So, and then with the wood, it only cost me $1, and the paint I'm using for tons of projects that I have going on. So it's not like a one-time use either, even though that cost me $1. So I would say for under $2, I've got a really super cute ornament or wall hanging, because this is a pretty good size. And like I said, if you can imagine, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a smaller bow, and I would attach that right at the top with one of those ornaments. I think I'm onto the right idea there. So there it is. And all I have left to put this together for the craft fair, both of these items are to get them clear coated, and then I'll hot glue those bows on and it'll be good to go. Oh, I'll probably run a piece of twine through that hole in the top. And twine you can get at dollar store too. So it's really super cheap to make these. I love them. I'll probably sell them maybe $10 a piece. I don't know. I might get some second opinions. You tell me what you think I should sell them for. That's my #1 question whenever I'm doing them for craft fairs. What are you selling them for? So maybe $10. For this, we are using this for a fundraiser for my son to go to Japan. So all of the money that we make, the proceeds go to his trip. So that's our Dollar Tree. Please feel free to comment below. Ask me any questions you want. Hopefully you listen to the whole video. Make sure you like it and share it and subscribe. Thank you so much for coming.